Now to that crash landing that happened this afternoon in Toronto. A Delta plane flipped upside down with 80 people on board. The flight originated from Minneapolis and at least 17 people were hurt. 2 adults, 1 child, initially classified in critical condition, but tonight a hospital spokesperson says the pediatric patient is now in good condition. Dick Brennan is here now with more on those terrifying moments. Dick, I cannot believe what those passengers went through.
It's unbelievable. And we're about to speak to one of them. Right now, it's not clear what caused the jet to flip over, but it was a snowy and frigid day in Toronto with strong crosswinds and gusts up to 40 miles an hour.
This airplane just crashed. The aircraft is upside down and burning.
But incredibly, all 76 passengers and 4 crew members on board Delta Flight 4819 made it out alive. A tricky evacuation that was actually an upside-down escape.
When we hit, it was just a super hard, like I hit the ground, and the plane went sideways, and I believe we skidded like on our side and then flipped over on our back.
Passenger John Nelson described a terrifying scene on board.
Where we ended up, there was like a big fireball out the left side of the plane. And when we got finished, it was I was upside down.
The wings and tail appeared ripped off, the front landing gear pointing to the sky. The regional jet was coming from Minneapolis. First responders at the airport reacted quickly.
Airport emergency workers mounted a textbook response, reaching the site within minutes and quickly evacuating the passengers.
And that may be in part due to the way the plane was constructed.
Now, those seats are designed to withstand 16 times the force of gravity, but they only really work if you're wearing your seatbelt. The fact everybody was able to get out, a testament not only to those seats, but to buckling up.
Toronto has been bombarded with snow 2 feet in the last week.
Having flown in Toronto many times, it is challenging with the winter conditions. They're going to be looking at wind shears, possibly anything that could actually have turned the aircraft over like that.
This is now the 5th high-profile aviation accident in the last 3 weeks, the 2nd involving a U.S. airline. And now a new investigation begins.
And TSB will be invited in, so they will work hand in hand together to determine what happened here, and most importantly, come up with recommendations to keep something like this from happening again.
Now, Toronto Pearson is Canada's largest airport, and the crash and the runway closures will now add to the extensive delays already caused by the bad weather, and that could affect any flights coming from the U.S. Christine.
Okay, thank you, Dick, for that update. Of course, crash investigators will be closely looking at the weather, those conditions that Dick mentioned. So let's go to John Elliott. He's in our virtual studio with more on the conditions at the time. John?
Hey, thank you, Christine. Let's talk specifics. The temperature was cold. It was 17 degrees, but the wind chill was far colder. There had been snow, like Dick mentioned, but there was no falling snow, just blowing snow. The bottom line, though, you see the wind gusting to 40 miles an hour, but you have to consider the plane's place in the wind. So take a look at this. You've got this wind coming in at 40 miles an hour, but the wind is coming in from the northeast. So as it comes into that, ideally, the plane would be coming in directly into the wind. That didn't happen due to the orientation of the runway. Normally, a plane would like to tack or do that crab walk into the wind. It was unable. It was trying to do that. Maybe that is what caused this, or we'll have to see if all of the recent snow had any contributing influence on that crash. But I have to echo what everybody else is saying. It's a miracle that everyone survived.